Yeah. We talk weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful.
Florence Sizzle.
And we are definitely in the building. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, let's take care of something. Let's see if we can get some donors real quick. How can they donate to us? How can they donate? Sizzle, holla at me.
So you can go to Cash App and just go to $ We Talk Weekly, and you can donate any form of donation. No donation is too great or too small.
That's right.
Also visit us on our website www.wetalkweekly.com, and it has so much information on there.
Yeah,
Just reach out to us,
that's right.
and if you want to support what we're doing, make a donation, and every donation support helps us to continue doing what we're doing.
That's right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you donate like she said, like the Sizzle said, no donation is too small. $ We talk weekly, and send us a little something, $1, $2, $5, something, That's how we continue to support the community, amplify the community, give them a platform to speak their truth, speak what they're doing, speak their engagement. And today we're going to talk a little bit about engaging the community and some great people that's in the community, because we're going to talk a little bit about the community and some things that's happening in the community. So I'm your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
So before we start anything, Sizzle, tell me, how was your day?
Oh, my day was kind of calm up until recently. Had some family stop by and visit, and that
Okay.
just kind of threw everything off track. But it's always good to see family. And I had a nice day pretty much, and now I'm here.
No
I'm here
doubt, no doubt. Yeah, for sure, for
trying to
sure.
trying to stay focused because there's so much going on right now in the world.
That's right.
As we just learned about breaking news with the shooting that just happened at Trump's rally,
Yeah.
and there's so much that's just unfolding right now. I believe they said that two people have been confirmed to be deceased. One was a bystander, and one was the actual
Wow.
shooter.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and
And he,
Trump was, I believe he was injured.
okay.
Um,
He was shot.
I believe so.
Oh
He was
wow.
raised in his ear, so he was at the podium and he was, talking. He does his goes on his tangent, and then next thing you know, you hear something that sound like firecrackers, and he grabs his ear and goes down. So
Wow.
the Secret Service that were all there, they all jumped on the stage and surrounded him. Um, then you could hear screaming in the crowd. You could see some people didn't. Looks like some people didn't know what was going on, and I think the people that were actually right there where the shooting occurred, they were over there screaming.
Wow.
So it was just a lot of chaos. Uh, they were able to surround Trump, and then he
Yeah.
finally stood up, and they whisked him away to um, the truck, and then they got him out of there. And I believe he's still being treated, but
Wow.
they did say that the shooter is confirmed deceased,
Okay.
and there's a bystander. There was somebody there that was talking and just describing the incident as it unfolded. That person said that he really believed that the shooter was aiming at Trump, but the bystander's head was in the way.
Ah.
Now, I don't know if that's true,
Right. No, I understand.
but
Yeah.
that's where they
Wow.
were saying. Yeah, so it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And President Biden did release a statement. He said that he was glad the Secret Service was able to get Trump out of there and that he's safe. He said he's
Right.
praying for Trump, and it's just a tragedy. It's really sad. It's really
Yeah.
sad. It's scary. It's scary.
Wow. Wow. Well, hopefully he'll be okay. We, contrary to whatever feelings that you have for anyone, any political uh, opponent, any political person, you don't want anyone to
You want to
die
see
or to get
anything
hurt.
like
Yeah.
that happen.
And so hopefully he'll be okay. And I guess once you find out any more news, if anything break, just let us know. Just jump right on and let
Mm-hmm.
us know as we go
Yes.
through today's show and interview.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, okay, so well, congratulations on your day, busy. Thanks for that news. Sometimes breaking news like that, we have to report as it goes. So if something come across your information, some slides, let us know so you can just jump right on and talk a little bit more about it. And so, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And we have someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I love the interviews. And why do I love the interviews? Because we get to talk to the real people, the good people, the people who are doing things. I love the community. So if you're doing something in the community, you're my favorite person already. So without
Yes.
further ado, Sizzle, let me know, who do we have today? Who do we have today?
So we have the amazing Dr. Carol Simmons. She is a vegan and she promotes healthy living. Her education includes a psychology degree, a master's, teaching certifications, and her doctorate in urban education leadership. She has been a vegan. She has been a vegan plant based for over 50 years and has owned two
Fantastic.
vegetarian restaurants. She has a host of books, some entitled Faith Through Fearlessness, a vegetarian cookbook, Eat Vegetables, Don't Become One, three children's books, and Quotes Through Faith. So, Dr. Simmons is the executive director of the Black Farmers Cooperative, BFC, an organization that has launched a transformative initiative to address the urgent need for sustainable agriculture, education, and urban city food deserts, particularly focusing on Philadelphia. And
Yeah.
she is the administrative director of the International Institute for Advanced Instruction and a nonprofit, and on the board of the Elmwood Eastwood Empowerment
Shout out to
Inc.,
Elmwood.
which is the umbrella for the BFC. And for the last decade, she has supported senior citizens by providing meals, and she is committed to the empowerment of the community. Welcome, give a warm round welcome for Dr. Carol Simmons. Woo!
How are you? How are you?
Hello, how are you?
On
Um,
That
so much, God.
that was such a warm welcome. I'm so appreciative and very humbled to be here. And I
Fantastic.
really am a community
Yes,
activist.
you are. Yes, you are.
And my goal is to leave this planet better than I found it. And
Fantastic.
hopefully I can accomplish that.
You are accomplishing that. Your accolades speak for itself. But I want to rewind just a little bit. First of all, how are you? Because I like to start there. Like, how are you? How was your day? Tell us a little bit about your day and how you making out.
I today was very special
Okay.
because I really didn't have to run any errands. I go out daily in this heat.
All right.
We have so much to do because the Black Farmers Cooperative, we have so many events
Okay.
and there's a lot to do. So today I was able to stay home and work from home, but really take it easy. So I feel wonderful.
Fantastic. Let me give you a
Yeah.
round of applause for that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to start from I want to start, and then we'll go to the beginning because I would love to know because you're such empowering. You're such a activist, so to speak. You've been doing a lot of things in the community, which is amazing. But I would like to know, like, how did that start? How was your family? How was your parents? Were your parents, that driven as well as you are? Were they into even farming, activism? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh, I love talking about that. I grew up in West Philadelphia.
Oh, there you go. Shout out to West Philly.
Yeah. And my parents and grandparents pooled their resources. So in 1944, they purchased a house in West Philadelphia. And I think that was such a fantastic idea because it gave me and my sisters a really a good quality life. and they were the third African American family to move on Paxson Street, the
Wow.
100 block between 51st and 52nd and Arch and Race.
Yeah, wow.
I had a absolutely amazing childhood.
Wow.
I thought everyone lived like that, but because my grandparents and parents had the insight to, like I said, pool their resources, they provided us with I would say, just a remarkable life. You know, I played. I did everything. I had my own business at 13 years
Okay.
old. My parents were very open and encouraged me, and my grandparents. I was the baby in the family, so you know, I really got a lot of attention. So my childhood, as I look back now, Charles, it was just great.
Wow.
I don't have anything I could say. You know, some people say, well, my parents didn't do this, my parents didn't do that. My mother, in our house, I'm going to talk about that. She made sure that she was always upgrading the house. You know, our basement looked like a little mini club. And it was always upgrading and making things better. Now, farming, my grandfather had ducks and rabbits in the backyard. We had a peach tree, pear tree, grapevines. My grandmother canned food, and she made wine. And the white and brown was half and half crop.
Right.
And I watched her do all of this. And so I started cooking myself and preparing food at a very early age. And I would watch my grandmother make the pound cake, and she would say, Carol, you got to stir it 300 times. You know,
Really?
Yeah.
It was a number, 300.
300. After you cream the eggs and the butter and so forth. So at 8 years old, my grandmother allowed me to bake sugar cookies on my own. And I've been preparing food ever since.
Wow, amazing.
That's how I moved into 2 vegetarian restaurants, one in Camden and one in Philly.
Interesting. So you still have restaurants?
No,
Okay.
no. That was back in the day. I no. Once I finished with the restaurants, that's when I went into teaching.
Okay.
So I am a retired professor and teacher.
Fantastic, fantastic. So
Yeah.
since you talked about being a professor, I want to talk a little bit about your alma mater, right? Because reading your bio, you kind of left out the bio that you sent to me, but I'm reading your book here, right? And let me pull Lauren back up. And I'm reading your book here, and it says, let me see, background education, health-related concepts. Dr. Simmons received an undergraduate degree in psychology from Rutgers University,
Yes.
a master's degree in education from, hold on, Temple University.
Yay.
and, and the reason I bring that up, when is your birthday, real quick?
February the 20th.
February 20th. Okay.
Pisces.
The Pisces. Okay, cool.
Aquarius on the cusp.
Got you. Get along with them. I'm a fire sign. I'm
Yeah.
an Aries.
A rising Capricorn and moon Libra.
Ah, fantastic. Oh, okay. My mother was a Libra. Fantastic.
Yeah, the balancing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lauren is a Libra.
Hey, Libra.
And so the reason I brought up Temple University, so listen, the education from Temple University and Doctorate of Education in Urban Education. My master's, I had a dual master's, Temple University in Education, concentration in urban ed.
Wow.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so it started out as they call it a certificate in learning in urban education, and then it turned into a degree. I went back, got the master's, and in political science with a concentration in policy, right? And so I thought that that was interesting because in the expansive learning and as Temple University is a research one, based organization or university. I would like to know a little bit about, your studies as it relates to pushing you toward possibly food, vegetarianism, nutrition. Did that have anything to do with you in terms of the community, black folk, anything like that?
Oh, absolutely.
There you go.
When I, my husband, when we got married, he was a vegetarian, and he said to me, just fix my food, how, the way he needed it.
Right.
Um, you, once you go plant based, it's you see the bigger picture. You see people who are not eating properly. You see the health issues within particularly the black community, like diabetes, which I firmly believe can be cured through diet.
Interesting.
But it's not just eating; it's you have to be spiritual,
The lifestyle, the
the
full
lifestyle,
yeah.
and positive thinking thoughts all the time. I always speak in the affirmative, always. And we have to understand the power of the spoken word. Because what we speak, we manifest.
Yeah.
So you have to speak in a very positive way. But vegetarianism allowed me, now veganism and now totally plant-based,
Right.
has allowed, it gives you a discipline about life, not just about eating, but about life.
Right.
And people used to make fun of me back. So I've been doing this 51 years.
You've been a vegetarian.
I've been plant-based,
Plant-based.
for 51 years.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's jump on that real quick because I want to know, because there's a lot of different conversation based around the terminology, right?
Yes.
And so let's talk a little bit about, and then we'll go back 50 years. But I just want to stop there and talk a little bit about plant-based versus vegetarianism and the lifestyle.
I can
so
explain
to speak.
it
Okay,
real quick.
Great.
I was originally a lacto-ovo vegetarian, which meant I ate eggs and cheese.
Okay.
I graduated to being a strict vegetarian, and strict vegetarians won't even eat honey.
Really?
And then
From the bees, I guess.
yeah,
Okay,
from the
right.
bees, but the bees don't die, so so I did honey, and then I moved toward veganism, which meant that I didn't partake in any alcohol. I never smoked.
Right.
I never did drugs, but it's a discipline that happens, and as you go to each level, the highest level, you ready for this?
Yes.
Is being a breatharian. They're not many on the planet.
Hold on. A what?
A breatharian.
A breatharian. Okay.
They breathe nutrients right from the air. They breathe in, but you have to be in certain parts of the planet, and you have to be in the mountains, and there are a few around. Dick Gregory was a fruitarian, and I've read his books and read up about him, but for years, Charles, I did smoothies. And what's happening now as you mature, you need less food.
Right.
So you have to find that balance where you can eat just enough. I had a young lady, the daughter of my executive administrative daughter, Imani, just a week ago, and she said to me, "This is the first time I've ever seen you eat." I eat very little because you want your energy to do things. And when you eat, that means your energy is going toward digesting your
right.
food.
Correct.
So you have to find that balance. Everyone is different. I know everyone can't go as long as I go without eating or eat as little as I do. But there's some days I need more than others.
Sure.
But what I'd like to say to the audience, as you mature, you have to make that shift. You have to tune in to your body and see what it needs, not what you want or what tastes good,
Right.
but what the body needs to do what it has to do.
Interesting. So because I heard conversations based around Dick Gregory and the conversation around fruit, and it's this gentleman by the name of, I believe his name is Yaki Awakening, where he talks a lot about our people being frugivores, right? And how important it is for us to consume fruits and the different colors of fruits and the variations of fruits, because we are not supposed to eat certain things, especially seeds and things of that nature, right? And so, just kind of like paraphrasing his position. I don't want to speak for him, but I have been trying to follow this whole kind of movement on what's the best way to go through healthy life, right? Healthy eating, consuming the right nutritional value of the things that we consume. However, I heard a huge conversation based around you need to go to not necessarily a nutritionist, but you need to understand your blood type first.
Yeah,
Because
I've
your
heard
blood
that, yeah.
type will tell you what you can actually eat or what you're able to consume. Have you heard anything like that? Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't follow through on it,
Okay.
but many years ago I heard about that. But personally, I go by how I feel.
Your body will tell you.
Yeah.
Your body will talk
If
to
you
you. Yep.
listen, pay
Sure does.
attention,
100%.
it will tell you.
100%. And a lot of us kind of ignore the signs, right? We start to, like, we'll eat something and then we start belching a lot and think that's what's supposed to happen after you eat. No, your body's talking to you,
Yeah.
right? Or your stomach get upset, or you get a lot of phlegm, it's your body's talking to you. It's not just because you just happen to get that, right? And so I think we think of literal kind of ideas on what your body is saying, like something is hurting, as opposed to different, I guess, different changes within the body that's actually talking to you to say, hey, something is wrong here.
It's not working.
Right.
It's not working. And our people, particularly our people, are ignoring that and eating the things they like.
Right.
Rather than paying attention. But it boils down to being awareness,
Okay.
and being disciplined and wanting to make that shift.
Right.
So it's not easy, but I've been doing it so many years. I'm okay with it.
Okay. So let's go back there, because
Yeah.
that's where we kind of like jump forward. 51 years, right?
Yes.
You've been
A plant-based.
plant-
I'll just say plant-based.
All right, so let's start there, right? So what does that actually mean? Just plant-based kind of. What would a plant-based diet or meal look like for you?
As within the world of veganism, it means that you don't eat anything that has a face
Okay.
or mother. Think about that.
Okay.
Face or mother. That's what it really means. It means that you're only eating things grown in the soil, and as fresh as possible.
Wow.
Yeah, and then fruits are really included in that.
Right.
And I suggest to people that you eat melons, like watermelon. We're going to
Yes,
have
there you go.
watermelon tomorrow at our
I need to be
farmers
there.
market.
I need to be there.
With seeds.
Where is it? Where is it, real quick, for
Oh,
everyone who's watching the farmers
the
market?
Black
We'll go back
Black
there again, but-
Farmers Cooperative Farmers Market. We're in partnership with Get Fresh Daily. It's at 52nd and Pine.
Okay.
From 10 to 2. And we're going to have corn from Maryland. Corn so sweet that you just pull the husk down and you can eat it raw.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll have squash. We have heirloom tomatoes grown by Farmer John, and we have from Cheney University,
Okay.
we have butterleaf lettuce and fresh basil.
Jeez. Do y'all
Yeah.
have? Well, y'all have seeds there. Do you have seeds that you can?
Seedlings. I don't know if we're going to Amanda. No,
Okay.
we're not going to
All
have
right.
seedlings there,
All right.
but we do have them.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's talk. So all right. So 51 years. What was the impetus to start you on this lifestyle, this journey? Okay.
My
Your
husband.
husband.
When I met him, he was a vegetarian,
Fantastic.
and he said, "Just prepare my food this way." And on a Saturday night, I was getting ready to prepare some food, and I said, "This is it. I'm becoming a vegetarian."
Fantastic.
And I that's when in 1980 I wrote my first book, Eat Vegetables, Don't Become One. So what's that?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool. That's
Yeah, and from that point on, it's been uphill. Yes, Lauren.
I have a question. I'm sorry. And you just made me remember that I was just having this conversation with my mom, and we were talking about how, some kind of way we were talking about news. We were talking about food deserts, and we were talking about how now people have all of these high blood pressure. They have diabetes. They have either had a stroke or a heart attack or something like that. And we were talking about how we just weren't raised to eat properly, and how eating healthy is so expensive. How do we? Because that's not something that we learned when we
Yeah.
were growing up and you were poor. So how do we teach our children now, or how do we teach? I guess how do we teach our children now how to?
That's a great question, Lauren. Great question. Um, I've been throughout the years, people have said to me, "It's so expensive." Because I shop at places where the food is organic and it's a little bit more expensive. I said there is no price on health. You have to do what is necessary to maintain your health. That's your greatest thing, to be able to wake up. I wake up feeling great, no aches or pains. And I'll say I'm 78. I'm pushing 80. So Charles looked at me real quick.
You look amazing.
Thank you. So I feel great. I do a lot. I'm very extremely active. But throughout my life, I've exercised. I did yoga for years. I walked. I jogged. I do a host of things. And right now, walking, I think, at the age that I am, is the best exercise I can have. But with our youth, we are bringing them to a farm. We have 3 farms, farm 1, 2, and 3. And we bring the youth to volunteer, and we show them how to plant. We prepare meals for them to taste. We're having a tea party next Sunday, and all the food is vegan except for one item. Someone requested tuna fish, but everything else, I'm making the vegan chicken salad, vegan tofu egg salad, guacamole. We have vegan cakes. We have vegan tea. I can actually say that. What makes it vegan is sweetened with agave. And not sugar.
I got you.
Yeah.
My mouth watering as you as you're talking about that. Lauren, you froze for a second. There you go. And so, wow, amazing. If okay, so moving forward, I want to get into the Black farmers.
Yes,
right.
please.
Let's talk a little bit about the history, how it was, I guess, organized or created from then and where you guys are today.
Yes. It was 2 years in May that we have been in existence. And it came through Pastor Darian Thomas and Elder Harville Brown. Elder Brown is from North Carolina, and he was a farmer. He grew up on a farm. And they got together along with Shirlene Moore and Nelville Moore and Clinton Tapper. And they got together and say, let's do a farmer's market. And they asked me to be a part of it. And we got together, and here we are. We brought Amanda, our executive administrator, Amanda Ayala, our master farmer, Levi Joins, and we have a host of members that support the Black farmers, and we have numerous partners. For example, we have partnered with ShopRite, with the Food Trust, and PHS, and I could go on and on. And the goal is to be able to teach, not just to teach, but to educate our youth and our adults through various forms of how they can grow their own food.
Right.
We do hydroponics, which is something you can do right in your home.
Wow.
It's done by water, and the product is outstanding. We do aquaponics at Cheney University,
Right.
and we also do planting in pots, planting in raised beds. You can, if you have a yard or if you have a patio, a front yard, backyard, side yard, you can grow food.
Fantastic.
So there was a quote today I got on Facebook that Amanda sent me. When you grow your food, you're creating your own paycheck. So we have to think about it as a real commodity, that it will enhance our economics, it will improve our health and our spiritual being, because touching the soil grounds you.
Yeah.
It brings energy into your body. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, after we've been at the farm, you sleep so much better. So it's holistic and getting our people to a better place, emotionally, spiritually, economically.
Fantastic. I'm just excited that you're here today because I want to thank the CDC in Southwest because we're doing a special where we amplify those who are doing fantastic things like yourself coming out the community. And so, do you see in those areas a need for as they call it, the local farms? Do you see, that making change in the community? People are doing, I'm seeing like their backyards now. I'm seeing things like, as they call it, the little land
Lots.
plots. Yeah, that they,
Yes.
they did. So what have you noticed since, you guys have been kind of in the community? What have you noticed around because of the work that you guys are doing here?
I can say this, it's growing. The gardening, the home gardening, the lot gardening, people come to us and say, I don't know anything how to plant. And we teach them.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
do you guys give classes?
I was going to tell you.
Good job. Yep.
We do educational forums at schools.
Wow.
So we are not just doing adults, we're doing the youth and families. We try to get the families to do it.
Wow.
So yes, we have educational forums. We just had a business summit where we talked about starting a nonprofit and maintaining it, financial literacy, and insurance. So we have our own insurance person, Al Smalls. We have our own bank, WSFS, we're one of our partners. We have two of their vice presidents there, and we had Dr. Wesley Proctor, a nonprofit expert. I like to say to our folks, we have to do our homework.
Yeah.
And we have to do the business side. But I want people to know, if you got any type of land or just a front porch,
Right.
you can grow your own food. Tomatoes, zucchini, eggplant, all of it, peppers. And it's nothing better, Charles, than going out into your yard. And I used to go pick my string beans
Yeah.
and run back into the house, rinse them, and throw them into the pan and steam them.
Wow.
Nothing beats that.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
all organically grown. I want to say one thing.
Sure.
When you go to the supermarket,
Oh, goodness.
if you look at the numbers,
Yeah, that's a good thing. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna
Go ahead.
tell you.
Good.
number 9 means if it starts with a 9, it was organically grown. And number 8,
Real quick,
Yeah.
so people understand. So when you see a apple or any fruit or vegetable, it is a little sticker on there,
Yes.
right? And it has a group of numbers on there. That's what the doctors is about to explain right now. Go ahead.
Thank you,
You're
Charles. I
welcome.
appreciate
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah. So when you see the number, 9 is organically grown, 8 is genetically modified, and 4 pesticides.
Jeez.
Yeah. So most of the stuff is 4s.
Yeah, leave that 4 alone. 4 is a bad number right there. Leave that 4 alone. Yeah.
And you know, people, I see people in the supermarket buying the seedless watermelon.
Yeah.
You know, the Carters at 84th and Lindbergh.
Okay. Yeah.
They've been there for over 30 years.
That's right.
Their father, it's a whole family.
Yeah.
In
You need to bring them on the show. Yeah, we see
Yes,
them.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They will be there tomorrow, so
Okay.
you'll be able to get a watermelon with
Absolutely.
seeds, and they're watermelon experts, and they can knock on that watermelon and tell you if it's ready or not, and they have been there, and they are trying their best to keep the watermelons with the seeds.
Wow.
I remember as a child, we would sit on the steps and eat watermelon and then see who could spit the watermelon seeds furthest. But you know, I ate plenty of fruit when I was a child.
Right.
Constantly.
Yeah,
Grapes. Everything had seeds.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm telling people, avoid the seedless fruit because it's been genetically modified.
You know, and I do want to say something about that because unfortunately, I want to say about a few months, I'm starting to see more seeds now. I think that's because there's a push to have seeds in watermelons, right? But for a while, you couldn't locate a watermelon in a supermarket with seeds.
You're absolutely correct.
You couldn't locate it. So I mean, literally, that's all we were eating. But now I'm seeing a lot of seeds. And shout out to them up there. We'll have them on the show. I'm definitely going to pop up. But I want to shout out, I believe it's like 61st and Market. They have watermelons right there. He was on the show before. Then it's 63rd and I want to say Haverford. 64 Wallooson or Haverford. You remember, Lauren, the vegetable truck right there? I can't remember, but they have watermelons there. And I love to see because it looks like they're all looking like us.
Yes.
So I like that.
Yeah, we
I
love
like
it.
that, right?
Yeah.
And so, but is there because I usually I eat the watermelon, I swallow the seeds, pause, right? I swallow the seeds, right?
Do you really?
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't have no time to be spitting out the seeds. No diddy, right?
No. I take and dry my
right.
seeds. Yeah. But no, Charles, take your seeds and dry them out, and then you can plant them.
Really? See, and listening to some people on the internet, they say, "Oh, you can't grow watermelons because our environment isn't conducive of supporting watermelons. It has to be." So you're saying that I can truly? Yeah.
Am I right, Farmer Amanda? Absolutely. She's a farmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. And we have watermelons at Farm One, and Amanda came up with wrapping them in the liner that we used to line the raised beds.
Yeah.
And
Can you turn that mic to you? Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
could you explain it, Amanda?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get this mic up for you. Go ahead. Let me see. Say hello. Let me see. Let me see if I can get you up. Try again.
Hello?
There you go. There you go. Perfect. So yeah, go ahead, explain it. Yeah, how do we do it? You know?
So with our watermelons that we have at Farm One, we've used tomato cages,
Okay.
and I made, I would say, cradles.
Okay.
Small cradles made out of the landscaping fabric that we had, and that was just to hold up the weight of the watermelon, so that the vines wouldn't snap or become damaged at all.
Okay. So why don't you like walk us through it? If someone would like to know, like, how can they start from a seedling? Or a seedling is when it sprouts a little bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So how can they start from a seed to a seedling all the way up to a nice plump watermelon?
Okay. Well, there's many different ways. One of the ways that I would suggest doing that is, of course, you want to make sure that you're buying organic, heirloom preferred seeds, and you can grow them in a few different types of medium. Something that someone would be able to get a hold of pretty quickly is just some potting soil, which is fine.
Okay.
And I mean, you can actually, you don't really need much. You can get a plastic cup, styrofoam cup. You can poke some holes on the bottom.
Okay.
And that's just to help with water drainage. You want to fill it up with soil and put your seed in there. Make sure you water it heavily. And then if you've got a windowsill or you've got, like a lamp or a light that you can put over top of it, because the seeds, so they definitely want to make sure that you keep them watered and that they have a lot of sunlight, or just light in general. So you can start seeds indoors or outdoors,
Interesting.
whatever you have the space for.
So so Philadelphia tends to get really cold, right? And snowy, right? So what will someone in Philadelphia do to kind of maintain, the process of planting watermelons and taking care of it through the winter?
Sure, absolutely. So it really depends on what stage you're asking about. But in terms of doing seedlings, so you can grow your seeds indoors, from just a seed all the way up to like a seedling, which would be kind of like a teenager plant,
Right.
if you will, and then transplant that outside. And so things like watermelon don't do too well in cold weather.
Yeah,
so
sure.
that's not something that I would want to suggest that someone plant during the winter. But we also using hydroponics. So that's a way to be able to grow all year round.
So what's a hydroponic for those who don't know? Yeah.
Okay, so for those who don't know, so hydroponic is being able to grow your own food through water. So not really using any type of soil or anything like that. You would simply you'd start your seeds, and then they would then continue to grow in a hydroponic tank. And that's something that we show people how to be able to make. We have whole workshops around that. So we'd love to be able, if anyone is interested in that, we'd love to be able to show them how to do that.
I love that because that's an excellent transition. I mean, I can't even believe it's already 9:00. Oh, I could talk to y'all. Let me tell you something. I can talk to y'all until the show is over, because I'm learning a lot here, and I appreciate you guys for coming. And so because of that, how can they get in contact with you guys, learn more of that information and all that good old stuff? Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in learning more information about the Black Farmers Co-op, please feel free to give us an email. And our email address is blackfarmersoutreach@gmail.com. And again, that's blackfarmersoutreach@gmail.com.
blackfarmersoutreach@gmail.com. I love it. Real quick, when we talk about, the idea of, or kind of like the history of farmers, right? A lot of that kind of, predates me, and, it goes to like our ancestors, and, the idea of like, us in, slavery and our 4 acres and a mule. Do you have any thought on kind of like the idea of like, getting our 4 acres, and having our own land and stuff like that? What's your thoughts on that?
We're in the midst of that now.
Really? What?
There is a revolution going on.
What? Wow. Okay.
We are that awareness and mindfulness for the land
Right.
is there's a certain awareness you see. You look throughout Philadelphia, there's lots of gardens, little mini farms, but more and more people, we are constantly, people are calling us and asking us about certain things and
Right.
how to grow this and can we do that. There is a movement.
Wow.
So
Unbelievable.
be encouraged.
Fantastic. I want to leave you with the last word to the community. What's something that you would like to leave them with? People that are watching and becoming inspired because they can now plant their own food. And I'm gonna try to plant a watermelon. I'm telling you, let me get some seeds. I'm gonna get a watermelon, and I'm gonna start from then. Dry those seeds out, right, and start planting. So what would you like to leave those who will watch this? Shout out to Southwest CDC. Shout out to all those who are watching. But what would you like to say to those who will be watching this? Rewinding this, because this is gonna live forever. What would you tell them?
I would tell them to look around at their community. We all can do something. If just do a little bit, and if everyone did something, it will make for a major movement. We have to believe that we can make a difference, but it doesn't have to take a lot of money. Doesn't have to take a lot of time. Just pay attention to what your community needs and do something about it. Right. Do something. Get the work done. Do the work. I say that all the time. Do the work. And when a project comes to us, we get it done. You find a way to get it done. But you have to care. It's to caring about what's going on around you and see what needs your assistance. Right. Everyone can do something.
Wow. Amazing. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting here stunned like, wow, this is great. This is fantastic. I learned a lot today. I'd like to thank you for coming to the show. I think this was something that the people needed to hear. And, one thing I say is once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show. So you're always welcome to come back. Right?
Thank you, Charles.
Absolutely.
It's been a wonderful and amazing experience.
Thank you.
You're a great interviewer, and thank you.
No, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. And what I'm going to do, right, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. And I guess I shouldn't say commercial break, right? But we're going to cut to a little break real quick. And then we're going to have someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I've been hearing about this person and all of the work that they have been doing. And Lauren, I'm gonna let you kind of take the lead with that as I walk the doctor downstairs, make sure she is okay. But why don't you let us know real quickly, you know what, I don't want y'all to go anywhere. When we come back, we got Lauren Sizzle going to tell us who our next interview is today, so don't go nowhere. We'll be right back, y'all. Let me find a little clip that we can play. Here we go.
What's going on, you guys? This is Bridget Kelly, and you are locked into We Talk Weekly.
Talk Weeklies after the talk with WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And we are here and We Talk Weekly. And next we have someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Sizzle, who do we have today?
So we have the amazing Brandon Nicole, an Atlanta-based musician and multi-instrumentalist. She is gearing up to release her highly anticipated single "Smokin'" on June 11th. Known for her innovative fusion of jazz and contemporary styles, Brandon Nicole has already made waves in the music scene with previous hits like Beachside, which showcase her unique blend of trap and jazz influences. Raised in a military family, Brandon Nicole's diverse musical palette draws inspiration from a wide range of artists, including Cypress Hill, the Veronicas, Bob Marley, Prince, and John Coltrane. A true musical prodigy, she began playing piano at the age of 14, at the age of 4, and by 14, excuse me, was already teaching music. Her talent spanned across multiple instruments, including drums, bass, guitar, and saxophone. Beyond her musical pursuits, Brandon Nicole is deeply committed to humanitarian efforts and is currently pursuing a PhD in educational leadership. Her upcoming single, "Smokin'," promises to deliver a soulful yet contemporary sound that reflects her rich musical journey and influences. Reflecting on her latest work, Brandon Nicole shares creating "Smokin' was an incredible journey. She says, "I wanted to blend the soulful elements of my past influences with the contemporary vibe that resonates today." And she is excited for everyone to hear it. So make sure you go and check out that release of "Smokin'." And I want everyone to give a warm We Talk Weekly welcome for the amazing Brandon Nicole.
There you go. How are you? How are you? Let me. Where
About
she go?
yourself?
There she go. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing really good. How about yourself?
Fantastic, fantastic. Thanks for coming to the show. Thanks for coming to the show.
Yeah.
You
Thanks
ready?
for-
You ready for this? You ready for this? Because
I
we
think I am.
we
Look.
heard so much about you. We heard so much about you. But real quick, I gotta handle some business real quick. So Lauren, why don't you take it? And I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, so we're so excited to have you here with us this evening, and I'm just blown away about you taking those lessons at 14, at 4, and then by the time you turn 14, you're teaching music lessons. How did that happen?
Well, I've always had this kind of natural gift for bossing people around, so I just put it to work, you know. No, I knew I wanted to be a band director when I grew up really young, probably as young as kindergarten. That was my little speech on the stage, you know. So I started teaching. Was a minister of music at a church at Rota, Spain. I was teaching sailors how to play guitar and piano, and some of my own classmates at the time. I'm also a band director now. I'm still just trying to give back to the youth. So
Yeah,
I'm just bossing people around 24/7, you know.
yeah, you were just a kid prodigy. Teach everybody. But what were some of your influences? Like what made you, I guess, get into music?
Well, music has always been big in my family. My dad sings. My mom also sang in church choir. That's really where I started. We were at Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. I was always sitting under the pews playing, 5 and 6 years old, listening to my mom sing in the church choir. And my dad, he thinks we don't listen to him, but he's always walking around the house singing. He sings rather well.
Wow.
I have my brother plays percussion. I have cousins that play trumpet and all kinds of things. So we have music in the family, and that's something that's always been natural to me.
Yeah, that's what, you have a whole family of musicians. So it's like there's no way you're not going to get into music or at least be influenced by it. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So the range of artists, the Cypress Hill, the Veronicas, the Bob Marley, that is just amazing. Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, living overseas as a military brat, we didn't always get the most current music. Sometimes it would be 80s rock, and that's all you could get in Japan. Or when I came back to the States and came to college and kind of started mingling with more civilians, I would say I started listening to like Snoop Dogg and Cypress Hill, and at the time the Veronicas, because I played guitar. I didn't start learning how to read music until I got to college. So one way I learned how to play all of my instruments was to listen to all of these different people. I couldn't learn how to play electric guitar like Prince from listening to just Snoop Dogg. So I had to listen to some other things too.
Yeah, it seems like that's what makes you a better, well-rounded, well-versed artist is when you listen to, and I love music. I listen to so many different genres from like, I like Mozart. I like, yeah, like it just seems like it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other. And I feel like that makes you a better artist.
Exactly. The more
Yeah.
perspective you have, the more genres you have, the more influence you can bring to the table.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about your work in smoking.
Well, since I was working at smoking, I wanted to blend sort of like the new trap style that we have going on from like Kendrick Lamar, even Drake, J. Cole, and also bring John Coltrane or Grover Washington to the table and just mix them together and see how they sound. I like that you said Mozart because I went to college for classical music.
Mm,
So I wanted to incorporate some strings from that era as well. So I just mixed it all together. One of the things that I wanted to really highlight with this album is that I was able to produce and record all of the parts and perform them all myself. And then I'm working in partnership with CSP Music Group and Chris Starr, and they were able to mix and master. So this is it's a project that pushed me over my limits and is still pushing my comfort zones in a lot of different ways. And I'm really proud of it. I'm so surprised everybody's loving it. I didn't really expect everything that's happening to be happening. So I'm really glad to see where this can take me, especially if you put in some good work.
absolutely, absolutely. That's just it does sound like it's a lot of work and that's just amazing. And it just seems like it's going to touch so many different areas. That's going to be phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about your humanitarian efforts. And you
Well,
started your PhD in educational leadership. I'm not even sure how you have time to do all of that.
oh, it's all on a prayer, I'm telling you. But I feel very strongly about education. Like I said, I came up with music through school. Even when I was at home, that was something that I was able to challenge myself and teach myself. And I've always been told that that's a God given gift. So a way to give back is to teach. And I enjoy teaching kids. This is my 8th year teaching, and I've taught JK through 12th grade, and I just want to keep education running. Also, that music is a way to express yourself even when you don't have words. That's one reason why I wanted to start with instrumentals, because you don't always need words to express yourself. And that's just another way that we can do that. And we should be teaching children to do that so they're better adults. Now, I'm hoping to get picked up by a record label or somebody that can help me keep up with some of these big stars on these charts. I'm managing, but I need not only for me myself, but I have the B Nicole Education Foundation. And what I would like to do is put schools across the nation. They have what they call corporate schools, and be able to just educate children, and mainly at-risk children in whatever form that may be. So if I really wanted to do that and was really serious about that, I would need to learn how to lead schools or even lead school districts, hence the PhD.
Yes, yes. And I'm just almost sure that the what you're building, and you have a firm foundation in a higher power. So, you know,
Yeah.
can say I'm just sure that, because of all of your efforts and all that you're doing, and you have a good heart, that's going to come to fruition. That team that you're supposed to have is going to come right to you.
That's it. I just gotta keep going, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Right now, that's just so important because there's so many kids out here now that are getting into the wrong things because they don't have leadership, they don't have the right mentors and things like that in their lives. So that's something that's definitely needed.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
So where do you see yourself, I guess, in the next, what's your plan for the next 2 years?
My plan for the next 2 years is to continue producing albums and continuing to try and get recognized and picked up by a label. And I will also be finished with my PhD next year. I'm working on a principal certification. Yes, I'm sure you look, keep it going, keep it going. But I'm also working on my principal certifications so I can start working on my superintendent certifications. And I don't know how much support it would take or how much funds it would take, but if I could get Thompson Unified School District for the performing arts or the performing arts out there, I'm ready. I'm ready to start getting these kids, some of them going. I'm also wanting to start getting some community service initiatives going. I'm I'm kind of in Phoenix right now. I just wanted to move out west a little bit to see what that's like. But one thing that I just wanted to do, I was like, what can I do to just help anybody? I didn't want to just go to Goodwill or the Salvation Army and take them my old raggedy clothes. But so I was like, Brandon, you should go buy like 10 cases of water, put them in some coolers, and just walk them around out there. There's so many homeless people everywhere. And it's so hot in Phoenix. So the best thing
Mm.
I could do for anybody in that heat is take them a bottle of water. And
Oh my.
just really just try and get out there and maybe even like slap my name on the water bottle with a sticker or something. So when they think back to it, oh, I don't know where they came from, but the Brandon Nicole Education Foundation was out here helping me. I have all
Yeah.
kinds of water bottles.
Yes, yes. And it's so hot. I mean, I can't imagine because I know it's more hot in Phoenix than it is in Philadelphia, but this heat
Oh,
is like the heat on top of the humidity has just been horrible. But what's the legacy that you want to leave behind?
my legacy my legacy is still forming. But
Mm.
as of right now, I would like to say that Brandon tried. Brandon messed up plenty of times. Boy, that girl was funny, but she made it, and she didn't stop until she did. So I want to be able to leave behind schools. I want to be able to leave behind well-educated youth, well-trained artists, musicians. Um, I want to be able to leave behind housing,
Mm.
healthcare, and maybe those things can change and shape our nation in the future.
Oh, it definitely will. It definitely will. So if you could work with any artists, like who's your top 5 artists that you would want to work with?
All right. Well, it's a mixed bag. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to. Obviously, I would love to work with straight up. It's got to be Beyonce. I imagine
Mm.
her creative teams. I couldn't imagine everything that I could learn. Oh man, my head would be so swole by the time I came out their studios. So I would love her. I would also like Kendrick Lamar to
Okay.
maybe feature on one of my songs. I would love to hear maybe even like Offset, any of these, anyone that brings anything different to the table. I would also like to work with Sheila E. I really
Mm.
liked her percussion it was killing. She has
Yes.
percussion, I have keyboards and winds. We could really put together something amazing. And I would say my fifth artist gotta be Taylor Swift. You know, I've been a Taylor Swift fan since the beginning, since she was in Nashville singing about the teardrops on her guitar and all of that. Yeah, it's good to see the come up.
Yeah, yeah. I like that top five actually. Like that, you're talking about some of the greatest, some great artists right there. Their body of work individually is just incomparable. Incomparable. So I mean, I definitely could see you with any of those people, if not hopefully all, you know?
Oh yes, and hopefully some more. Like I could name them all day. They set a high standard.
Exactly, exactly. Now I know you mentioned Kendrick Lamar and everything that's going on. What's your thoughts about, you know, the rap beef and everything that's unfolding from that? Is, I mean, you got the good, the bad, and the ugly with
Yep,
all.
yep.
What are
At
your thoughts on that?
the end of the day, I'm like on the internet and on social media, I'm like, hey guys, can't we all just get along? But like, even though Drake's stats have been better, personally, and I hope I don't get canceled too early for this, I vibe with Kendrick. I'm all day like, I can identify with that. Even walking around, just being around other musicians and just seeing how they may not be, like their work ethic may not be there, or they say they want to make it and they're not trying to do all of the work that it takes. They not like us.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, exactly.
yeah, so I love that. But I also think that a lot more people can vibe with Kendrick too. I don't think that it's just, it could also be the times, because Drake has been out since at least like 2008, and he was even known before that. But
Right.
Kendrick has really been coming up and hitting these hits and being
Yeah.
on these charts here the last like few years. So I don't think it's finished yet.
No, absolutely not. And I agree with you. I think when you say, "Can't we all just get along?" I feel like a lot of people they're in that middle space where they're like, "I like Kendrick and I like Drake, and like, why can't we just all get along?"
Yeah, that's why.
You try to be neutral. You don't want to lean to, you know, too far to either side. But they're great artists. Like their work, their body of work is just, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And they both been making some numbers that is just, it's just crazy. But what's your thoughts on like the female lyricists that have been kind of blowing up now? You got the Sexy Reds, you got the Glorillas, and you got, I was just thinking today, it just seems like female artists are just taking over.
Well, I'm glad that I'm kind of on the train myself. I'm trying to get further in the stagecoach, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to get to first class myself. But I wanted to say that there is a lot of good stuff coming out here. I don't really like these rivalries like I love Nicki Minaj, and I've liked Nicki Minaj almost as long as I've liked Drake. It's been like over a decade. So,
Yeah.
but I also like Cardi B too, and it's been tough trying to navigate the waters about that. But I think that there's plenty of room at the top for us females, and they really showing it. Like these shows have been phenomenal, the BET Awards and all of that, and I'm just praying that I can get some stuff together and I can keep up, because I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that you know, you're going to be right up there with them. Cause you know, when I was looking at your website, I was just like, man, this is awesome. I said, she's really like a one woman band. Like you know, you really are a one woman band, and you work hard. So I know that you're just going to be catapulted into your own genre. And I could see you as, you know, the getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, you know, and all that. So,
And that's a part of the goal too. Yes, truly, not just to set standards in education, but set standards with the Recording Academy and all listeners and everything.
absolutely. So tell everybody again about your, you know, your latest projects that you were just working on. for those who are just tuning in now. Tell them again.
Well, my latest single, Smoking, just came
Yes.
out on June 11th. And it's a mix of trap from beats and percussion to jazz with featuring instruments like saxophone and a little orchestral music as well with strings like violins and cellos. And I just wanted to be able to bring it all together and bring the influences of the past and the present. And I even added a little synth in there for the future just to keep it all together and really put together something special. It can be found on Apple Music, Spotify. I can be found on Facebook and Instagram. It's out there. So I would really love it if the whole audience would just go listen to it.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And so I have one more question. Do you have any instruments with you right now you can play?
I know that's right. Come on. Good question. Good question.
I did not, but I do have one coming off. I could go get it.
There you go. Let's go.
All right. Give me 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yes, so that's awesome. We have the amazing Brandon Nicole. She's going to give our audience a little treat. And I just love what she is doing. It's just phenomenal. And just to see, I just know amazing things are going to come out of everything she's doing. She has a good heart, and she is getting her PhD so she can start these schools and give some much needed performing arts education to kids. I'm looking forward to that for her.
Yeah, for sure. I've been listening to the interview. I was like, oh, this is a great interview. You go in and take it with you. That was great. Good stuff.
I love the saxophone. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Exclusively at Hamner Music. It's the Sax Dakota tenor sax.
Oh man. Oh, that's it. That is so beautiful. Like little tears coming to my eye. That is so beautiful. I really could listen to that all day, but I'm going to listen to the music.
There you go.
That's right.
Yes, that was just so beautiful. It made me think of when I was kind of growing up in church, and I love music, but now that I'm older, I want to learn how to play instruments. I'm like, is it harder to learn as an adult than it is as a child? I'm like, harder.
No, it's not. No. Well, I've taught some adults. I think the oldest student I've had, he was like 67, and we did have to have this talk. I was like, look, if you struggle to listen, you're going to struggle to learn.
Wow.
That's right.
So you don't know everything. I mean, I'm only like 32. That was a really hard conversation to have with an older person, right? But I was like, look, you have help.
Yes.
I'm certified. Come on. The state makes sure. Come on. Like, if someone's trying to help you, you need to listen. If you want to learn, you need to listen. And that's it. So I don't think anyone should ever struggle to learn. That's really what it is. If you wanted to learn how to ride a bike, you could. If you wanted to learn how to do your own taxes, you could. If you wanted to learn to play piano, you could.
I agree.
Yeah. And if you need help, I got you.
I know that's right.
Awesome.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, this is an amazing interview, very much a dynamic talent, and I appreciate you for coming to the show. Is there anything you want to leave someone with? Like all the people who are watching, maybe new fans, people who would look up to you and want to do some of the things you do. Is there anything that you want to tell the masses who are watching today?
If you want to try, and you can do. I come from very humble lineage. I didn't have much, and I'm out here doing interviews, talking to Chris Starr, some like the industry legend from like Boys to Men. I think he represented Ariana Grande. And my parents are from Kingsland, Georgia. That's nowhere. If you blink, if you're driving down the highway and you blink, you'll miss it. So just believe in something, pray. And like I like to say, you got to show up in order to blow up. So if you ever get these opportunities, bring everything you got, because they may or may not ever come around again.
I know that's right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
let me give you a round of applause for that.
Yeah.
So real quick before we let you go, how can they, one more time, how can they get in contact with you? How can they find all your music, all that good old stuff?
All right, I'm on Instagram at Cloud B Nicole. I can be found on Facebook. It's Brandon Nicole. My music is streaming on Pandora. It's available for purchase on Apple Music. It's also on Spotify. If you go look for Brandon-Nicole and type in Smoking or my debuting album, which is Beachside, in Google, everything will come up. Everything you need to know.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you to go anywhere because when we come back, we got the sizzle. But before we let you leave, I just want to thank you for coming to the show. One thing that we say on the show is once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show, so you're always welcome to come back. Really appreciate you, and I want to continue to support and continue to wish you much success because that's one of those talents that we don't see every day. So I appreciate you coming to We Talk Weekly.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I got a lot of family in Philly too, so if I'm ever in town, I'll come check you guys out.
Pull up.
Please, yes.
Pull up. So there you have it. Don't go nowhere. When we come back, we got the sizzle, y'all. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And you already know what we got coming up next, right? What we got?
We got the sizzle.
No doubt. Give it to me early.
All right, so before we jump right into the sizzle, make sure you already know what time it is and you already know what to do. Make sure you guys subscribe to We Talk Weekly on all social media platforms and major podcast platforms. Support us by making a donation on Cash App to $ We Talk Weekly. All right, so we've been going for a minute, so we back with the jump off. Got a little news that's going back a little bit, but just want to highlight some things. So Kendrick Lamar, he kicked off his Juneteenth Pop Out Ken and Friends concert, and this was on June 19th. Thousands of fans showed up in Inglewood to see the performance. The concert marked Kendrick Lamar's live performance debut of his diss track, Drake's diss track. So Kendrick started the show with his diss track Euphoria, but then he changed the lyrics up to include this new line talking about give me Tupac's ring back and I might give you a little respect. So back in 2023, Drake purchased Tupac's self-designed custom gold, ruby, and diamond crown ring for over $1 million at a Sotheby's auction. So this purchase made Pac's ring the most valuable hip hop momentum ever sold at auction. Wow. So y'all don't know how big this is for Drake to own this piece. So the fact that Kendrick Lamar threw that in and he was just like, just give me back Tupac's ring and I might give you a little respect. Now you see what he's talking about. So Kendrick performed his other Drake this song 616 in LA and like that. But when it came time for Drake to perform this track, Not Like Us, which was like going crazy, this song is just, you can't go anywhere and not hear the song. He performed the song 5 times back to back. So Kendrick had almost 30 celebrities on the stage. It was like he performed it, and then when it went off, he performed it again. He performed it again 5 times back to back. So Kendrick had almost 30 celebrities on the stage during this performance. He had YG, Ty Dolla $ign, Roddy Ricch, Tyler the Creator. He had DJ Mustard, Russell Westbrooks was on the stage, and Dr. Dre. And at the end of the show, all the celebs came back to the stage and they took a group picture, which I thought was really dope. And Kendrick said, we done lost a lot of homies to this music stuff, a lot of homies to some street stuff. And for all of us to be on this stage together, unity from each side of the mother freaking LA. He said this is dope. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar, because he, in the midst of him, you know, still doing his thing, still on that, you know, on a tight time of dissing Drake and celebrating his track and his come up, he's still bringing those communities together. So yeah, kudos to him. All right, Eminem dropped his 12th album, Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. I had a hard time. I was even practicing that, and I had a hard time with it. So on the track, Lucifer, he took shots at Candace Owens. So he said, hey, Candace O, I ain't mad at her. I ain't going to throw the fact he forgot she was black back at her. Laugh at her like them crackers she's backing after her back is turned. In a cute MAGA hat with her brand new White Lives Matter shirt. Or say this MAGA dirt bag in the skirt. Just opened the biggest can of worms on the whole planet Earth. Call her Grand Wizard, Clandis, or Grand Dragon, or like the national anthem, I won't stand for the tramp. Clandis, though. Clandis. Like the clan.
Clandis.
Clandis.
Clandis Owens, huh? Wow.
Well, she appeared on an episode of the TMZ podcast, and she was asked about her thoughts on the lyrics. She said, I could not have laughed harder when somebody sent this to me. I just think it was so lame. He has now cemented himself as a lame person. I'm calling this now his, she can't compare it. I'm calling this now his Hillary Clinton hot sauce moment. He's just so desperate to show black people that he's real. He's just aged out. It's time for Eminem to hang it up. So what's your thoughts on that? You think he's using this as just like to stay relevant, or
no? If you can remember, he did I believe it was on the BT Cypher that he did something against Trump. But he's always been speaking against like he's been supporting, you know, like he's dug in the community. After a while, like how much do you have to prove that you support the community? Like, I think Eminem get a bad rap from those who want to keep hip hop black. And I get that, right? I get that, because I don't think you should let anyone colonize what you have created and invented, right? That said, even in slavery, we had some white friends that got us out, that hit us, right? I mean, it is what it is, right? And so I don't want to compare it to slavery. It's kind of tongue in cheek, right?
Right.
But I think there's merit to how good Eminem is and how much he did for the culture, and I respect him for that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So are you kind of, you know, I don't want to say kind of along the lines of what Dr. Umar said about Eminem, he can't be the GOAT.
I do. I'll say if there was another title aside from GOAT of hip hop, because I don't think anyone that's not that's not of descent, black descent, can be the GOAT of someone's actual creation that was of black descent. I don't think anyone can do that. That said, I will say if there was something next to that, Eminem would. I like him, and I think he definitely would be. He gave many people who look like us jobs. You gotta give Eminem some love, man. It's no way you can take it from him. But no, but I do agree with Dr. Umar, and if I think some people overstand, I think some people are. I don't think there's ever a time where you can be too woke, so to speak. But I do think that you do have to be fair in your assessment of whatever the situation is, and that situation being Eminem, I think he needs some grace. He needs some grace.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. So during the pandemic, the Versus series created by producers Swizz Beatz and Timbaland took the country by storm with some of the most iconic versus battles, including Brandy versus Monica, Snoop Dogg versus DMX, Fabulous versus Jadakiss, Redman versus Method Man, and on and on and on and on. Well, after a 2-year hiatus, Swizz Beatz and Timbaland are facing major backlash for their Juneteenth announcement on their new Versus deal with Elon Musk. So the announcement was posted on Instagram with a picture of Swizz Beatz, Timbaland, and Elon Musk on a yacht holding drinks, toasting, and posing for pics. It included the caption, "It's official, Versus is back and 100% black owned again. We will also be building new entertainment businesses on the X platform." Well, Black Twitter was swift to join the group chat. One person said, "Trying to force black people back to Twitter with music while you made the site a playground for straight up white supremacists is an insult to our intelligence." Basically saying it doesn't matter how we treat them as long as we give them a hot beat to dance to. No. So Swizz said, "Nobody said anything before. We've been on that platform since Versus started. We must change that. We must change what we don't like, not complain about it. And they will understand. I'm sorry. We will change what we don't like, not complain about it. People will soon see the plan. I understand that people have questions, and they will also understand I'm not a silly person, but you're on X." So he's basically like, you're complaining about this, and you're on X anyway. But what are your thoughts about that? Because a lot of people were just like so upset that he's starting this and he's connecting with Elon Musk, and all the discrimination and things that Elon Musk has done, namely for Juneteenth. That's a federal holiday, and a lot of people are off that day. Elon Musk said that those who work for X, you can be off that day, but you have to use your time. They're not giving you that time as a federal holiday. So, I mean, that just using that as an example. But what's your thoughts on, like, are we just, Black Twitter, we need to chill, or do they have a point?
So I can see, right? I can see what people are upset about. That said, right? You have to think of, so if not X, where?
Mm-hmm.
What other platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't we? I'll say it like this: what black platform do we own? And where would they want it? Where would they want it? Who stepped out and said, "I want it on my platform"? Who?
Right.
So where were they supposed to go?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm lost at. I kind of get the outrage, but it's like, come on, like they from my understanding, Swizz Beatz was like, it's black owned.
Mm-hmm.
We're not giving no shares to Elon, right? This is our platform and we keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I checked, it was on YouTube, right? Who owned YouTube? I'll wait.
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And so I'm okay with it. And from my understanding, it was they got a nice piece of bread, and they're keeping everything. And so I'm not mad at. I'll probably get some some try to somebody probably smack me on the back of the hand. I get it, but I'm not mad at it at all. At all. I think that we need to start thinking a little different, because if we don't have a platform, we don't. Where are we going to go? What did people expect? Like, I'm just curious. Like, where did they expect them to go?
Mhm.
Where did they expect them to go? And so, if that's not an answer, if nobody remember, we deal in what kind of journalism?
Solutions based.
So, what's the solution? I
Yeah.
wait.
Yes. I honestly, I really think we should just hear him out, because if he's saying that, he's putting it out there that new entertainment businesses on the X platform, they're going to be building that
Mm-hmm.
in some, I'm sure in some way, shape, or form, that's going to benefit the Black community. Hopefully, Black artists, minority artists, or Black and brown people, whatever. I'm open to. I'm down to hear what he has to say, or what he's
Right.
going to.
There
You
you
know,
go.
actions speak louder than words. So,
That's right. That's right.
absolutely. All right. So the Celebrity Sizzle Award of the day goes to. I'm just going to say Willie Mays and San Francisco Giants. So a celebration of life was held to honor San Francisco Giants legend and Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays at Oracle Park on July 8th.
Mm.
He received military honors for serving in the U.S. Army during the Korean War at the 2.5 hour event. Willie Mays' godson Barry Bonds was in attendance, along with other Hall of Famers like Joe Torre, um, Reggie Jackson, Denny Eckersley,
Mm-hmm.
and Ricky Henderson. And
Mm.
Commissioner Rob Manfred said there's never been a better representative of baseball's magic than Willie Mays. He dominated the game in every way. He didn't merely play, he captured imaginations. He never allowed his meticulous preparation to prevent him from showing the joy the game brought him. And he
Mm.
inspired generations of players and fans. So, unfortunately, Mays died on June 18th at the age of 93, but his legacy will live on forever.
Yeah.
So shout out to the San Francisco Giants for honoring him.
Yeah.
And I'm your girl Lauren Sizzle, and that was the Sizzle.
And that was the Sizzle, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your boy Charles Gregg with the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And this is We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk. And that was our show, ladies and gentlemen. Good interview. I liked her. I liked Brandon.
Yeah.
I have to listen to some of her music. That was the first time that I think that was the first show ever that we had someone play an instrument.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
Ever.
we've had it in the studio, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
virtually no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
First
And
time.
so, yeah, so no doubt. So, I mean, that was our show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tune in next week. Yeah, we're here next week. Make sure you tune in next week, and make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you, if you feel the need to, make sure you donate at $ We Talk Weekly, y'all. And I'll see you next week, and we out of here, y'all.
Peace.